All right, Lisa Atkins has informed us that it's 9 a.m. on a Wednesday, and that means it's time for Million Cups. So make sure you got Girl Scout cookies, which is, I think we're coming into the end of that, so go get them, and coffee. So welcome to 1 Million Cups. It's time to check in. So point your phone at the QR code that's on the screen or at one of these things that's sitting on the desk or chairs in front of you. And this will let the Kaufman Foundation know that we have a thriving chapter of 1 Million Cups. And it also makes you eligible for fabulous prizes. If you check in on 3 separate occasions, you'll get a pen, 6 occasions, and you'll get the coveted 1 Million Cups notebook. All right, so don't let that opportunity pass you by. Could be a battery issue.
Yeah.
Manual override.
It's not just a avatar.
Help me. Clicker doesn't want it. Oh, there it goes. There it is. Okay, so here's our mission. The mission is to help entrepreneurs, and we do that by lowering the barrier of access to education, resources, and connection within the community. So entrepreneurship is a lonely journey. You're going to need helpers along the way, and they're in this room, or they know people beyond this room. So reach out and connect with people. So how do we do that? We do that because the Kaufman Foundation, which backs Million Cups, gives us a software platform for the back end and gives us training for the organizers to coach people to give effective presentations to a community like this. So at the same time, every community is unique and has its own strengths, and we try to take advantage of that as much as possible.
Danielle just texted, oh, it worked. Never mind.
Yeah, whoever was blocking me, their will was weaker than mine. Okay, so we are 1 Million Cups is all over the Southwest. We are proud to be the most successful chapter in New Mexico, and we achieved that through a low denominator. We understand folks in Las Cruces are looking into us, and we extend them the hand of friendship. We'll help them out in getting on their feet if they actually do that. But these other locations are great too. Wherever you are, if you're on the road and it's 9 a.m. on a Wednesday, look up a Million Cups chapter around you. If you're an early riser, you can go to one in New York, have a cup of coffee, and come here and have another one. So what are the key pillars here? These are presentations, not pitches. So in a pitch, there's something you want from the person you're talking to, typically money, either, investment or as a customer. And so there are certain aspects to your existence in a startup that you conceal. And you don't have to do that here. This is a friendly crowd. It's not Shark Tank. It's more like a pillow fight. And whatever resources you need, they're here. And the way we do that is by coaching the presenters to talk about their vulnerabilities, their challenges, the things that they face. And when they do that, it's often evident to some members of the audience that they have unknown unknowns. We all do. So things that they don't know, and they don't know that they don't know. And we're here to help them with that. So these are authentic connections, which is how that developed, not networking. It's not a speed dating contest to see how many business cards you can pass out in 5 minutes. We're here to get to know each other, and getting to know people who have a different set of skills for you is the way to advance as an entrepreneur. We're run for the community, by the community. All of our organizers are volunteers. They don't do this because they're masochistic altruists. They do this because each of us gets really something of value out of being a Million Cups organizer. And several of us have been doing this for years, and you can talk to us about what we get out of it. We're run for the community, by the community, so we are volunteers. We are run by the community, and we're radically and intentionally inclusive. So all kinds of people are welcome here, all kinds of entrepreneurs, all kinds of businesses. Mom and pop brick and mortar operations, whiteboard companies that might have a little bit of funding but no customers yet, all the way up to big tentpole companies that come here to show us how it's done, but they don't really need anything from us. So everybody is welcome here, and we can all help each other out. All right, that's a mission statement. I'm not going to read to you, but it's a reminder that if you're talking to someone casually, before or after the presentation, see if they know something you don't know and listen carefully. Or if you know something that they need to know, be patient in your explanation and answer their questions as well as you can. Maybe go get coffee afterwards. So that's what we're here for. And be polite. You should also apply to present. So if you're an entrepreneur, officially the line is, that your business has been in existence for 5 years or less, but we routinely step over the line there. That you should have sold something to someone who's not your mom. And sometimes we violate that rule as well. But mostly we want to coach you to be as effective in this format as possible. So I think you'll get something out of it. If you have a business and you haven't presented, or it's been more than 6 months since you presented, talk to one of the organizers and we'll put you on the calendar and coach you to be as effective as possible. All right, now here's the real opportunity today. So it is with sadness that I say that Sonia Doing has retired as one of our organizers. So there is a spot. This could be you. Now, like, I don't want to say like not everyone could whitewash a fence, okay? Because that's been done. Most of you have read that book. But, you know, if you have what it takes to be an organizer, that is like you're a giving person and you're patient with people that know less than you about something, you know, think about it. And we'd love to have you. We look for people that have complementary skill sets to our current group. I'm Paul Sauter, Chief Scientific Officer of Equiseek. Lisa Atkins is COO here at FatPipe. Eric Renz Whitmore is keeping the city of Santa Fe lubricated, and they're going to go to hell today, right? And Danielle is our end of life guide and death dweller. And Keikoa and Oscar are with Legacy Family Documentaries, making everybody's family story look great. And there is an open spot. So think about it and think about maybe this could be you. You could be standing up here with this microphone and everyone has to listen politely to you. If that could drive you, you know, so think about it. And we'd like to thank our sponsors. FatPipe has been our sponsor for 10 years, never charging us for this. If we had to pay for this, we couldn't exist. So bravo, FatPipe. Thank you for making us look good all the time, dry heat photography. And More Than Organized, organizing your stuff, your thoughts, and providing creamer. Foundation for Sustainable Living, providing coffee, the original performance enhancing drug. Beyond Energy, if you want to, you know, go into orbit, they supply energy drinks. Noventum, custom software that doesn't suck, plus Girl Scout cookies. And Minuteman Press for all your ink on paper needs. They're on these cards that are around with the QR codes. And if you have to print something to show people who aren't online constantly, they're the folks. All right, thanks for joining us. And I'm going to hand it off to whoever coached. That would be you.
I coached Shayla Lucero. Come on up, Shayla. She is with the Light Event Planning. We're going to hear about her company and why her event planning company is different from others.
Let me get your slide deck up. Oh, this is fun. Hi. We're just waiting for a second.
We're just staring at you.
Yeah, I know.
No big deal. Lovely.
Yeah. All right. There. All right. So now I'm actually getting started. Hi, my name is Shayla. I'm the owner of the Light Event Planning. I started my business a little over a year ago, back in November of 2020. Closer, thank you. My journey into entrepreneurship is a little bit different than most. I always had the entrepreneurial spirit. I always knew one day I wanted to start a business, one day I wanted to be my own boss, but I never had this great idea or this great product that I knew I wanted to do. But then one day came very suddenly. I was working full-time at a marketing agency with a client who I loved, and they were moving to a different agency and said, "Hey, you want to keep working with us?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." They brought me on as a subcontractor. They had another contact who was also looking for an event manager. So they asked me if I wanted to subcontract with them too. And I said, "Yeah, sure." Sounds good. So right off the bat, I started with 2 amazing subcontracting clients who filled my book for the first year. But it really had to make a decision of, do I want to just keep subcontracting? Do I want to go back to full time? Do I actually want to go for this and start a business? So I'm really thankful to my first clients who really pushed me to help me start my business. I really took the time to listen and understand why they liked working with me versus another event planner, another management company, and that's how I developed The Light. So we are a full-service event management company dedicated and committed to high-quality service through personalized and custom service. Stumbled a little bit. There we go. So my first two clients, I'm sure you recognized a few of them. I worked with the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, for over 3 years. One of those was my first year in business. I was in their antimicrobial resistance unit for their AMR exchanges. So in 2021, we all remember what happened. The CDC could not have in-person events anymore because they were the ones driving the stay-at-home order. So I helped them pivot from an annual in-person public event to a series of ongoing virtual webinars. And we also did a virtual public workshop co-sponsored with the CDC and the FDA. So they are the contact experts. I don't know anything about antimicrobial resistance. I learned a lot. Sometimes they sounded like they were speaking in foreign languages because they were. A lot of the pathogens are based in Latin. So content-wise, they're the experts, of course, but I really helped them guide strategically on how we wanted to position these webinars, how we wanted to market them. Once they got the topic and the description, I would help them sort of put their marketing materials together, get their landing page up and running, and then work with the speakers to make sure the speakers understood their technology, their timing, made sure all of this was CDC approved, especially for public events. It had to be very, very closely monitored to what the speakers were saying. And then I also worked with the Department of Defense. So I did the opposite. They were virtual for 2 years and I helped them transition back to their in-person curriculum for their civilian personnel. So it was a 4-week leadership training for the civilian sector. And 4 weeks in person, they would go home for a couple weeks, then come back, and each leadership training builds upon each other. Again, not a leadership expert. I don't know how to coach people to be great leaders, but I worked with amazing facilitators who did have that knowledge. I worked with them to make sure all of the curriculum matched our DoD competencies. I worked with the facility, make sure all of our AV, food and beverage, room setup, everything was taken care of. And that way, when the facilitators, the DoD, and our participants went on site, everything was set up and ready to go for them. So that's a little bit about what I have done so far. But a lot and a barrier that I have been facing is when I introduce myself as an event planner or an event planning company, I get, oh, my sister's planning a wedding. Or, oh, I have a baby shower coming up, which are wonderful and great social events, and I can do them. But really, an event management company goes a step farther than party planning. So I am your strategic partner. From the moment your business or your brand decides, I think an event might be good for me, I think it might help my business, I will help guide you through that process and really understand your goals of the event, how we can measure success, and what you want to get out of it. So everything that goes into a marketing campaign for your business, I will do specifically for your event. And that will help me guide your venue selection, other vendors that you might need. I can advise on your program and your flow. Again, you guys are the content experts. I'm just helping you put it together. And then like a business, if you have a great product or idea, you still need to market it so people can come. So I'll make sure you hit your registration numbers. And then project management. Events can be so overwhelming, especially if you haven't done it before. So I am there to help guide the timeline, make sure everything is getting on track and smoothly. And I do it in digestible pieces. So my clients don't have 1,000,001 tasks that they have to do all at once. And then budget. Events have gotten so expensive in the past couple of years. So making sure to manage the budget, reallocate and adjust if needed, but someone always constantly watching it for you. A lot of material go into events, from digital signage to in-person material like papers. I'll help make sure all of those get on site on time. And then finally, I will be your on-site manager. So the first point of contact when you're on-site at an event, for your staff, for your vendors, for the attendees, anything that goes wrong, I will handle it. So my clients really get to sit back and relax and enjoy their event, which is something the CDC and the DoD really appreciated while working with me. So that's what I do. That's where I've been. But why should you care? Why are events important to you? Well, especially for small businesses, events are important to incorporate into your marketing strategy because you can get in front of your target audience. You get real-time feedback, you get to talk to them, you get to understand why they like your product, why they don't like your product, and then you start building brand awareness. People start recognizing your brand or your person or whatever. And you can become a thought leader in your field, so you'll get invited to more events and people look to you for that guidance in your industry. And a few ways that you can do this is with launch parties, one of my favorites and definitely a great way for small businesses, sponsorship management opportunities, speaking opportunities, and ongoing webinars, which I can all help you with. And some other services I offer are conference planning, virtual event and meeting production, like I did for the CDC, training and workshop development, what I did with the DoD, galas and fundraising events. And then I also do offer consulting services because I know small businesses don't have a lot of money or resources and they might need just a little help getting started. All right. Lessons learned. Like I mentioned, I've only been in business for a year. It's been a great year so far. Getting into year 2 right now. But I learned a lot of lessons starting a business. One is just the admin side of starting a business. You have to register your LLC and learn how to bookkeep and learn how to social media. That was a whole learning process. But I also learned that business is not guaranteed. So like I mentioned, I started suddenly. I got 2 amazing clients right off the bat. And I made the very beginner mistake of thinking that getting clients is going to be easy. And it was not. So once those contracts ended, I had to really pivot and learn how to increase my business development skills, how to go out and get new clients. And I also learned working with the government is really hard. Yeah, there's a lot of processes. If you want to be a prime contractor, it's like a whole nother world, a whole nother language. So I've learned a lot of that. And I am still learning. Again, I mentioned business development is a skill that I'm still really working on, how to convert those relationships that I've built into sales, how to just keep building relationships, how to increase my marketing. Done a lot of that in the past couple months. And tax season just started. So I'm learning a lot about small business taxes, which is fun. I went with a CPA, which I'm so glad I did because there is a lot I don't know. And then I'm also still working on my technical writing skills so I can start bidding and getting hopefully awarded some government and private contracts. And that is everything. So you can scan the QR code to get my contact information. It's also on the screen. And yeah. Yay!
Shayla, if you want to ask a question or provide some feedback, let's form a line over here. We'll also take questions from people online. Make sure you introduce yourself so the audience knows who you are. So,
Right. I'm like, I don't.
hi.
I'm Miriam with More Than Organized. You mentioned it's hard to work with the government. Have you identified if you want to continue working with the government or if you want to switch to more private clients? Like,
Yeah.
who's your ideal client?
Yeah, I definitely want to continue working with the government. One, because I have the experience, but 2, the government, once you get a contract, they're very secure. They're usually 3 to 5 year contracts, which would help me get more clients and be able to build. So government is definitely my top client. And then I want to start working with local agencies as well.
Okay, so pretend you don't have all the time in the world. Focus on those government contracts first and then a consistent, less time intensive amount to go for the other clients.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Cuomo with Santa Fe Fashion Week, so I have mad respect for event planners. One of the things I was wondering about is, I did a fashion event for a company that was coming here to do like their rah-rah meet. And so I don't know if you worked with any hotels and stuff like that, because a lot of times they'll outsource things away from the hotels.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't worked with many hotels here locally. For the DoD, I traveled a lot to Oklahoma. But yeah, definitely working with the vendors around Albuquerque. I'm good connections with the convention center, so hopefully that grows into something good. But yeah,
We'll talk after.
okay, sounds good.
Good morning, Shayla. Amazing presentation.
Thank you.
I got one question for you.
Okay.
I love the photo with you and the doggy.
What's
His or her name?
Her name is Leah. She is 13 years old, so I've had her since high school. She graduated high school with me and college with me and started a business with me. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that was such a cute photo. So now for the more serious question.
I'll take it.
I'm involved with the entertainment and wellness. I have a couple of small businesses I'm developing. So do your event projects ever include entertainment and wellness? And if they do, what are they?
It all depends on the event. I did one pre-COVID that, since a lot of my conferences are very intensive, they want people to learn and get through all the workshops. So they do like to incorporate some sort of yoga or like breathing exercises. But one of my favorites that we had the Animal Humane Society of Albuquerque come, and they brought dogs for us to pet and hang out, and that was my favorite. But yeah, they definitely do incorporate those.
Great. And last question, what are the challenges of facilitating an online event, like with Zoom and all these things?
Yeah, and Lisa definitely knows all these challenges too. Technology is one of the biggest challenges. Internet speed, and just technology of the attendees. Sometimes they don't know how to log on or how to unmute their mic. And you would think, we've been in a pandemic for almost 4 years, you would think people would know how to do that, but they don't. So technology is definitely the biggest challenge in virtual and hybrid events.
Well, thank you. Continued success and great presentation.
Thank you.
Let me go to someone online. I'll come back to you. Phil, you want to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, thank you. Good morning. Phil Wilton from Executive Outcomes. We do business strategy and we expand executives' choices. But you did a good presentation. I like it. And your initial issue where you say you were an event manager and you got baby showers and that kind of thing was not quite your market. But what I do hear from you is that you're a marketing manager. So you need to swap that around to event marketing or marketing events or somehow something along those lines.
Yeah.
You'd say you're proficient at project management and you gave some examples of how you did that, and that's good. But do you have a PMP?
I do not have a PMP. I am a certified meeting professional, so it's basically a PMP specifically for the meeting and events industry.
All right, so you might want to add that into your social media somewhere so that people understand you've got some kind of qualification as not just for academically, but to go alongside your actual projects that you've completed. Are you a member of the Chamber of Commerce?
I am the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber, and I'm working to start with just the regular Albuquerque Chamber and Rio Rancho.
And does your Chamber of Commerce do business startup training sessions?
They do have some workshops with the Hispano Chamber. They're really trying to revamp that and bring it back. But there's also like West and Apex that I worked with a lot.
Well, maybe you could bring it back, help them bring it back with your experience.
Yeah.
Quid pro quo sort of session. And are you working with, or have you been in touch with the economic development councils in the area in Albuquerque and Santa Fe?
I have met with them. I still need to reconnect with them. That was during the holiday season, so need to build that connection again.
And I think the only other one I would say to try and make contact would be Arrowhead.
Oh, yeah. They did the Women in Business event. Yeah.
Exactly. And when I was in New Mexico, I did a couple of training sessions with Arrowhead online on strategy. So I think a little bit of remarketing on yourself as
Mhm.
out of event management into event marketing,
Yeah.
and then try and spread your wings into these other areas that have the capability to help you get business.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Come on up. Hi, Shayla. My name is Rachel. I am I'm a business owner by Floral by Rachel and also public relations manager at US Eagle Federal Credit Union and also a good friend of Shayla's. Supporting her today, and I've seen from the very beginning of the starting phases of running a business, getting it up off the ground. And so I know we've had so many conversations about this, but I wanted to ask, what advice would you give to somebody that is really trying to get into the business and secure more contracts and find new clients, especially if you're running into issues, not always getting a new client or contract?
Yeah. And thank you for coming. Yeah, definitely, especially this year, I've learned a lot. And I would say keep going to networking events. Like the more you show up, the more people recognize you. And even though they might not be your clients, they will give you some good references and recommendations.
Thank you. We're gonna take another one from online. Alan, would you like to ask your question or
Sure.
provide feedback?
Yeah, first of all, are you familiar with the New Mexico Society of Association Executives?
I've heard of it, yeah.
I think that would be a good thing for you to look into. That group, as well as the American Society of Association Executives, includes obviously association executives, but vendors from all strata. So it's a great networking opportunity, great educational programs, and the chance to explore different ideas and make connections to get business. I took a quick look at your website, and you said you belong to a chamber or two. There's no evidence on your website. You really need to put your affiliations on your site, because if people go to your site and they belong to a chamber, they're more apt to support chamber members.
Got
And
it.
they don't know you're a chamber member, well, then you miss that opportunity. So it's, especially as Phil pointed out, you advertise that you help people with marketing. Start with helping market you
I know, yes.
and take yourself on as a client. So
Yeah.
those are my thoughts for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alan. Come on up.
Hello, I'm so happy to see you here.
Thank you.
Yes, I have seen you come multiple times. And when you said event planner, that's exactly the idea I got, that you did weddings and baby showers,
Right.
party planning. But then hearing your presentation today, I can resonate more with your business and help you
Yeah.
get the client that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for investing the time to present this, and so looking forward to collaborating with you.
Yeah.
And getting this out there. My question is, how many events are you looking to do per month?
Per month. So I just signed on with a large medical company and they do at least 3 events per month. So I'd be taking on hopefully 1 to 2 of them. And then It just depends on business. That's the short answer. For weddings specifically, I only offer one wedding client per month, because I'm trying to move out of that space. But for corporate events, as many as I can do by myself, I'm gonna try to do. Yeah.
Okay, so I see that you like working more with business kind of like of events,
Yeah.
corporate business like.
Yeah.
And
That's too.
my other question is, what is your biggest success story when planning events? Like what makes you want to do it? Your biggest success story?
Yeah, I love event planning because I love details. I'm a very detail oriented person. So I love thinking of all the little details that go into it. But the biggest why I like to do it is getting on site and seeing everything run smoothly or not smoothly and being able to figure it out and having happy clients at the end. Like having a successful event is always my biggest win. Yeah.
Do you have a Google page where people can go and leave like reviews of the events?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Perfect. And then having them on your website too also
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
I saw it's very, very nice. The colors are very, maybe if you're looking for some executive kind of, think about the colors.
Yeah.
Because the color reflect more like a party
Mhm.
theme of the event.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I have to
Yeah.
do for my business. I started with that color and then I said, does this really resonate with what I'm trying to portray or bring to the clients? So thank you so much for sharing. I look forward, like I said, to working with you.
Yeah, thank you. Sure. I think you're next. Yeah. Here you go.
Not sure if there's anybody online. So, nobody wants to work for exposure.
Mhm.
But have you considered trading with some organizations like specifically, I'm thinking Albuquerque the magazine or maybe Albuquerque Business Weekly for advertising,
Yeah.
trading your portion of the fees, right? Use their
Mhm.
budget and let them save a little bit of money by giving up some space in their rag and other organizations like that. Gosh, I had another one in mind a minute ago and I forgot it. But anyway, just the idea that these guys throw parties and sometimes it seems like it's the team throwing the party.
Yeah.
And maybe you could help them get a little bit more bang and get an ad at the same time.
Yeah. No, I have definitely started working with Jump Into School Bash. So I'm more, if I do free work and trade work, I decided to do nonprofit work. So I'm helping with Jump Back to School Bash. That's a big event for elementary school students. And then I have done a lot of work with the Hispano Chamber as far as trade.
Might look at the American Indian Chamber of Commerce too.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, Gina Ewell with Exhibit Solutions. And there's other exhibit businesses in town, right?
Yeah.
You all hooked up with them?
Yes.
Good.
Anybody else? I don't think we have any more online. Anybody else online?
Thank you.
Wait, Shayla, we have 3 Red or green?
Red.
And what's the one thing this community can do for you today?
Yeah, I would say now that you know exactly what I do, and more in depth of what I'm looking for, just referrals and keeping me in mind if you have any upcoming event needs.
Fantastic. Now you can give her a. Then you'll stay after and finish the conversation if people want to talk to you more. So I see some new faces. Shayla had a friend. Let's have her come on up. We'd like you to introduce yourself. It's a casual group. We want to know who you are. You look new. Come on up. Who you are, what you do, how you heard about 1 Million Cubs, and if you have a small business, when you're going to apply to present.
It's a nice setup. Hi, I'm Clint Howard. I am a cinematographer and the executive producer of the Albuquerque Film and Media Incubator's commercial production wing. So we actually specifically work with small to mid-sized businesses to help them grow their business. I come from a larger commercial background, working with some studios and some of the larger players in the field back at my time when I was in Dallas. Very grateful to be here in New Mexico. I love Albuquerque. Used to spend my summers here with my grandmother. And so, yeah, the cool thing about us is that the essential core of what we do is workforce development. So we are working to create holistic onboarding for people wanting to get in film, incorporate them into our actual commercial production in a way that they get trained properly, safely, ethically, as we grow small business here in New Mexico. So yeah, I'm Clint.
Hi, I've been summoned. Well, you've already met me. My name is Rachel Pierce. I am a New Mexico native. I was born in Santa Fe, went to school in Los Alamos, and I met Shayla when we worked together at Hyatt Regency Albuquerque, which is now the Clyde Hotel. And we had so much fun in the event industry that really started our passion and love for any event related and marketing endeavors is what I'll call them. And I have been in the floral industry for about 10 years. I do not have as developed as Shayla does in her business sector, but I love the floral and New Mexico clients that I take on. And so we work together with different people when we do have overlapping wedding clients. And so we have a lot of fun with that. It's more of my side gig. But I do have an Instagram. I'm developing a website and a Google listing too. So it's in the infancy. So this is my first time coming to anything like this. So thanks so much for welcoming me. I've had a really great time. I should apply to present. We'd love to have you. We have one more newbie.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Luke Probst. I'm a pharmacist by training, and after working in pharmacy for 37 years, I'm semi-retired, and I have a consulting service that performs pharmacogenomic testing and comprehensive medication reviews. So everyone knows your genes predict your hair color and your eye color and whatnot. We now know that your genes can also influence whether you respond to medications safely or effectively, or if those things won't work for you because of your genetic traits. So I offer that service to evaluate your genetic traits and to help make great decisions of which medication may work for you, which medication may harm you. My focus is kind of evolving from starting with trying to identify individual patients willing to participate in this service, networking with prescribers, but ultimately I think, I need to scale to a point of contacting employers or payers so that they can identify that this service is not only a safety thing, an improved outcome opportunity for their patients or for their employees, but it is also demonstrating to be a cost-saving effort over the life of a patient. And ultimately, if you do this genetic test once, you're going to be able to have informed decision-making about your medication choices for the rest of your life. So I look forward to getting some wisdom from you folks, because my past career has been in hospitals and practice and management, and my entrepreneurial skill set is about that much. So I welcome the opportunity to get more information from you all. Thank you.
Well, I was hoping to introduce you to Alex, but Alex isn't here today, so maybe you can help hook them up. Let's see, we got some time. What should we do? Shout outs? You got one? Come on up. If anybody has a shout out, come on up and share who or what you're thankful for.
Yes, I want to thank this community, Brian, back there, Blondell, my friend Anna Luz, and then Matt, who's one of our sponsors, for supporting the Sound Bath Soundscape event that we did over at Ascension Visio with Julia. It was really a lovely event. It was an business after hour 15 people came and we like crowded in this little atrium. And I did sound bath and soundscape, and it was really amazing. And it was amazing to see the effect on people and what we can do in community when we're working through our hearts. So I want to thank this community of 1 Million Cups for offering me that opportunity. Thank you, guys.
Hey, I'm Brian. I own Noventum Custom Software. We closed a deal up in Santa Fe with Posas Tamales. They have a tamale factory to retail restaurants and then a wholesale business distributing across multiple states. They were stitching this together with spreadsheets and tiers and anger, and we're helping them do that with software. It's thanks to Anna and American General Media. We rolled the dice with their radio ads and it paid off. So give her a call if you want to advertise. Thanks.
Hello, Deanna Vincent, Dry Heat Photography, and I just wanted to thank you guys for your support of my headshot mini session event that was a couple weeks ago. It was sold out and it was very successful, and that was mostly because of you. So thank you very much.
So this is Humberto Morales from Bionic Solutions. And well, not a new face over here, but I was out for a long time. Today I'm offering, well, for services mainly is business and product development, strategic innovation, mainly in the field of biomedical products. But also now we are open for minority businesses. I mean, they are owned by ethnic women or veterans or disabled. And well, I'm offering, we have still like 15 business, the development of 15 business plans. If you're trying to apply for a federal program or any kind of program or loan, and or you have the idea to have a business, we are offering this this service for free. Then I will leave my contact to Lisa, and well, you can reach me out. Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Right. So I have a lot of shout outs. So I have to shout out Laura for inviting me to host my first R Community in 30 Things, which is over there right now. It was an idea just 6 months ago, and now it's a reality thanks to Laura offering it. And I mean, for Lisa, Laura, and Andrea for offering this and helping me with it. And then for all the people who participated. So I invited people to bring an object that would tell a piece of their life story, a little bit of their personal history. And we've got about over a dozen people participated. So that was amazing. And Deanna volunteered to take professional photos of all these things. Well, pretty much all of them except 3. And they're all up there, nobody's name's connected to them. But tonight from 6 to 8, we're gonna have the story sharing event. Light refreshments are served, and you'll get a chance to hear the stories of why these things matter to them. So I just thank this community because, again, I just suggested it when I was speaking in October, and Lisa was like, you can do it here. So thank you so much, Lisa. Really appreciate it.
And it's still open if people want to come tonight, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Come back and say.
Join us.
Yeah, please.
My name is Nancy Boss, and I owe so much to this community so fast, I'm about ready to tear up about it. But I spoke last November, told you all that I'm a public speaker and a fear researcher. And from that conversation has sprung a new company called the Confidence Alliance. And some of you have been part of building this. Matthew from Noventum helping me walk through how to build a website, because now, of course, I've become a website developer. Didn't want to do that. Pictures from Deanna that are popping up all over my social media presence. Thank you for everything you're doing. You are an amazing photographer. I'm shaking. I don't get nervous. I literally talk about here. thank you for walking me through what the city can offer small businesses. Thank you for showing up at one of my first online meetups. And if there's anybody else that I can support here about fear and confidence, despite how I feel right now, please reach out. My name is Nancy. Thank you.
All right, I do have a shout out, but before I do, how many of you were at Startup Fiesta last week, right? It looked like a meeting a million cups, right? So I want to give a shout out to Jeff Bargil. Come on, guys, give him a hand. He's not here today, he often is. But, you know, from the beginning, every time they've had a Startup Fiesta event, it's gotten bigger. And we filled Q Station. I don't know, there were 200 people there. And it was a fantastic opportunity to meet new entrepreneurs that aren't yet part of the Million Cups circle. And it was a great extra Million Cups meeting because like we were all there and trying to meet other people. So thanks to Jeff Bargil and all of his helpers who are helping to build a strong community for entrepreneurship here. Anybody else? You got to be grateful for something. Come on up.
I am super grateful for so many things. Eleni with Hope Transitions, nurse by trade, that's my calling to serve the senior community. And this group has been such a blessing. I see you guys as a family. I am so grateful because the first time I came here and I did the presentation, Mr. McDonald right here approached me and gave me some connections. Okay, you need to talk to this and this person. This beautiful lady over here also came to me and said, you need to do this and that. Very, very supportive. And then I am so grateful for Danielle because we connected and she sent referrals to me. And still till this day, we keep in contact and she's like, Eleni, can you go see this client? He's amazing. The support that we see within each other. Marty, it's been such an honor to be able to collaborate and help each other. Dr. Norm and Barbara, they are such an inspiration to me. I am so grateful for them and the coaching that they've been giving me health-wise for Purple Mulch, going to Dr. Norm's speeches about prevention of dementia. I have gained so much knowledge and wisdom through seeing this power couple right here. So thank you so much. I am so grateful with Ken for connecting with me and sharing his precious time to coach me and help me see things I didn't see before and connecting me too. It's been an amazing journey. JP, for sharing that beautiful invention. I have it in my purse and I see it every time I say, I think of you. Thank you so much. Marilyn, thank you so much. You have helped me to be able to cope with stress and know how to look within and be able to take care of myself and know that if I'm able to take care of myself first, I will be able as a nurse to take care of everyone around me. So thank you so much for this community. I'm so grateful. And Mr. Chuck, the biggest, tallest guy in there. Also, I am so grateful for meeting him. And you see Chuck and you see Marilyn, they're here because of the experience I have had in this community. And I always say, people, come, that's a great networking group to be part of. So if you come, keep coming. And then I saw that from you the first time you came. I said, keep coming, girl, because it's about building relationships. So thank you so much for being part of my life. And I'm looking forward to collaborating with every one of you.
Hi, everyone. I'll make this quick. I'm Trish Lopez. I run Teen Years Tech Savvy Teens helping seniors learn technology. I just want to give a huge shout out to Fat Pipe, their leadership, and 1 Million Cups organizers. So I have been renting here, I think longer than anyone else who's here, because Fat Pipe had just gotten started like a year before I found Fat Pipe. I pitched the idea that became Teen Years at the first Women's Startup Weekend in New Mexico. So this was in 2015. And I've been renting here ever since. I've been given a very fair price. I'm just super stoked for the fact that 1 Million Cups still happens. And of course, we all know that does not happen without volunteer help from these folks, like Paul, like Eric, like Sonia, like Lisa, who've been making it happen for all these years. And it's so great to see this community continue to thrive, because I can rarely make it, but on the rare mornings when I do come, I'm always like, oh, I love hearing the entrepreneurs. I love hearing your guys' feedback and questions. And a huge shout out to Lisa and all these folks who are making this happen. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Chair. Anybody else? Let's see if I have any events. I didn't have time to look at the event guide, so I don't know if it's current. What's wrong? Oh, is there? Yeah. Well, you can talk about your event.
Good morning, everybody. Danielle with Conscious Crossroads End of Life Services. So this is technically not my event, but I definitely want to promote it. I will be attending. It's called Dancing with the Elephant, as in dancing with the elephant in the room. It's an 8-week end of life planning course being taught by Jane Westbrook, end of life educator. It will be taking place at Verdis Cannabis Dispensary on Coors. They have a really big education community resource sort of room. It starts April 6th and it's every Saturday morning from 10 to 12 with an optional brown bag lunch, question answer, kind of death cafe chat session afterwards. Every Saturday except 420. They'll be busy with other things there. I highly recommend it. It covers everything from aging in place and making your home safe to what to do with your dead body afterwards, and everything in between over 8 weeks. So highly recommend. Here's the flyer.
Oh, the party is awesome too. All right, you've already heard Marty McNabb's Show and Tell, our community in 30 things, will be here tonight at 6 p.m. Barbara Dawson's Authentic Communication Through the Sales Cycle continues here on March 13th, 11:30. There's a link to register. I do have details and forgot to add them for the accounting practices for small business. So if anybody wants to register for that, we are going to try to do it via Zoom as well, because we know Fat Pig Feast Mountains is a far away for some of you to travel. But that she has a lot of clients up there, so it made sense to do it. And then our partner Katharsis Media is obviously replaying our videos on their channel. I actually tried to look for some of them and I had trouble. So if someone figures out how to manage their guide, or someone wants to reach out to them and reprogram their guide, it needs to be electronic. It's in a spreadsheet. That would be awesome. Yeah. Okay, Paul, I guess let's.
Lisa, can I?
Yes.
Hello, Miriam with More Than Organized. I have a virtual acceleration day coming up on March 22nd. Acceleration days are like 4 hours of kind of a little bit of training and prompts and work along sessions where you can ask questions of me while we all do stuff. I do them once a quarter, and this quarter is clear off your desk. So I bet some people have some desk clutter that might need some attention. So save the date. It will be, I'll bring a flyer and it'll be officially launched next week.
So thank you, Miriam. I think I have a flyer for your for your event on my desk somewhere, but
Every one of my clients, I find my card or a flyer from one of my things.
fantastic. All right, I mean, after all this, it's hard to close, but what I'm gonna do is pound the table again for the event tonight. So one of the things about working with other people or getting advice from other people, this I learned in leadership training. There are things about you that are not publicly known. And one of the things in leadership training is to reveal those things to other people, right? And that helps them understand you better. Like I might be doing business with this person, but I don't really know them. I don't know anything about them, right? And even the weirdest details of your domestic life turn out to be, a way that other people connect to you. So I encourage you to come tonight and find out a little bit about some of the people who have brought things in that are photographed up there. And those are probably going to be things that you don't know. And you're going to feel like you made a connection to that person. So I'm not going to talk about this tonight, but we, for example, have 5 parents, and on Thursday, we're going to have 6. All right. So you didn't know that. Many of you didn't know that about me.
Are they having babies?
No, we are adopting a 36-year-old yellow-naped Amazon who is arriving on Thursday. He's being rehomed to us. So, yeah. So anyway, go trade strange things about your life with other people here. And come back tonight and listen to people stand up in front of you and tell you weird things that you didn't know about them. And I think that will help to lift up entrepreneurship in New Mexico. And I'll see you tonight. And if not, we'll see you next week. Thank you.